It's really great and really fantastic to be talking to Rodney today. Rodney is a new author. He has written the book Romance Dead. Let's know more from Rodney. Rodney, please could you introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Okay, thank you for having me. I'm Rodney McNeil. As said, I am a new author. My book is Romance is Dead. I also create content. I have a blog on Goodreads. My book is everywhere from Kobo, Apple, Amazon. It's on all the major platforms.
Yeah,
That's it.
let's dig deeper in the book. What is the book's main idea?
The book's main idea, I guess, it's to reach people's emotions. It's to display emotions as if it was a character. So the main character is Ro, and Ro's like a spiritual being, but she's an emotion. The narrative of the story is as written, but it's also an allegory. So it's kind of like the fight between light and night, but it encompasses mankind's struggle in it.
So the name Romance Dead, how did you come up with this name?
Um, I wanted something that would sort of ring like romance is dead. So I chose Romance is Dead. When we think about romance is dead, we think about the heart breaking. And on the cover of Romance is Dead, I have a heart that's shattering into pieces, is broken. This story has love and heartbreak in it as well. But the heartbreak plays a major part. So I came up with that title just by Romance is Dead. Romance is Dead. I felt like it's not enough love being shown in society as lately, and it seems dead.
What is the best review or the best opinion you have received about the book so far?
Um, the best review I've received is they say it's a short read, but it's very deep. It's thoughtful. It depicts the times that we're living in right now. Um, and they also said, read it. Like if you want something that's thought provoking, read it. All the reviews have been 5-star, by the way.
That's fantastic. Have you been asked questions about the book? Like, have the readers sent you questions?
Honestly, no one has questioned me except for, I would say, everybody that's read it that's around me. But as far as like interviews and things of that nature, this is the first actual interview to even speak on it.
What is an unusual question you have been asked about the book?
Let's see, an unusual question I've been asked. Is Ro the main character? Is one of the characters in the book her boyfriend? It was comical at the time, and really, I'm sure that the person that asked me understood that that wasn't so, but they just kind of had their own spin on how things were going in the book. So that's the strangest question.
Okay. About your writing style. So about your writing style in the book, how can you describe your writing in the book? What kind of style is it?
I would say the writing style in the book is artsy. It's written like a beautiful song. It's rich in text. It's poetic. On top of that, like the narrative is a story. Like I said, the characters in the story, they are what they are, and the story is what it is, but it's an allegory. So it has a hidden meaning that the readers can discover um, through traits that they find in themselves.
So basically, the people who read the book will find a part of themselves reflected in the story.
Right.
And why did you do that? Why do you find the people to find something about themselves in the story?
I would say, once again, since I said love in society seems to be dead, I think everyone needed to find something about them that they could relate to. Maybe they see themselves as having those traits that come along with love, or maybe they can see themselves as on the other side of it. And in turn, we can create a conversation, maybe within their own environment to spark change in their homes or lifestyles, or they can take it to a global scale and create conversation somewhere in that area.
Yeah, that's fascinating. The other question is, you're using a lot of music in the book, and then the book's even the title starts with the word death. How can you mix music and death together?
How can I mix music and
Death.
death together?
Yeah. Like, why did you think about this idea?
Um, I guess I would say, once again, everything seemed to be dying that was full of excitement and fascination. So I would say, if we coming from a musical standpoint, um, the way it's written in the text is poetic. So when I say it's more like a song, the text is very lyrical. And I think it could even read or be sung as a song. And that's where the music could come along with it. So I just wanted to make people fascinated, with being able to read again as well. So that's why I made the text pretty lyrical.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Can I ask you, where did you train to write with this style, or how did you learn this style?
How did I train to learn the style of like poetry
Yeah,
and things in that sense?
yeah.
Um, I would say that I'm self-taught. I love music. Um, I would say hip hop had a lot of poetry, but aside from that, I've read books that were full of poetry. Homer's Odyssey, poetry. So I was just fascinated in how they would put words together. Even though they rhyme, they had an amount of substance that came with those rhymes. And I, in turn, um, I read the dictionary and just continued to study. I was very interested in just learning more. And with that, I dove into writing, and it came about naturally, I would say.
Fantastic. So about your ideas, do you try to pick ideas from the society, like what the society cares about, and then you give them a novel or a story about that? Or is it your own ideas that you explore and write about?
I would say it's my own ideas. Sometimes society can be influencing, but I don't want to ever guess what people want from me as much as the original ideas that I come up with. I feel like I can convey a story better from my original ideas rather than force a story that society is sort of handing me, in a sense.
About your word selection, how do you select the words you will include in the no in the story?
Um, I would have to say they come to me naturally. It's like I have one word, and with that sentence, I want some substance behind it that makes sense, and it all flows naturally. If I feel like I need to change it, I'll just go back in there. Okay, I don't like this word. Let me change it. But everything so far is a natural progression. I think with reading a substantial amount, you just kind of become fluid with how you can play with words. So it comes natural.
Reading a substantial amount. How many books have you read, or how much reading have you done before you came to this stage?
um, I really don't know how many books I have read,
Yeah,
but
about.
probably about 6 up until this stage. But I'm reading articles every day about different subjects, whether it's tech, entertainment, politics, sports, education. If it comes across and I think it's interesting, I'll definitely read it.
So basically, you write one word, and then sometimes you like the word, and sometimes you don't, and then you decide to change from one word to another.
Correct, but I will say that my subject matter influences a lot of what I'm gonna say. I do my research first on the subject that I'll write about. I brainstorm and I jot ideas, but I kind of have what I may say in my mind. So aside from that, once I have what I'm gonna say, I'll write down a little bit, and then it's kind of like it naturally progresses as I write.
Fantastic. So my other question is, you have been reading articles in different subjects in different areas, and then like it's you are picking what the vocabulary or the language that fits your style from these places.
I would say no. I don't necessarily pick the language that'll fit. I just I kind of gain a knowledge of what's going on because these current events are still interesting, but I think it just feeds me enough to be able to have content if I want to use it. But it just makes me more versed on what I can say. A lot of the ideas are, I would say, original. So it's just kind of about if I'm feeling if I'm feeling it, then I'll put it down.
So my other question is, how much can marketing affect your style? Like if the marketers, if the business people responsible for your book decide that you need to change this and that in your writing style, what would you say?
I think if it's something that needs to be changed, maybe we can change it. But if I just felt passionate about that, hey, this is the way that it goes, it needs to stay like this, or it changes my whole story, and it won't be the same, and it's not what I'm trying to convey. So, in that sense, marketing could change it a great deal if we buy into it as artists.
So my second question, how much market research do you do before you write the novel? Like, do you write the novel in isolation by yourself and then, okay, tell them go market this, or you try to see how the business goes and then try to find middle ground between your writing style and the market?
Well, honestly, I'm independent, so um, at first I didn't look at the market as much. I look at it enough to just understand what's going on and how I need to put myself out there and what I need to do. But as far as my content, I just give all original content. I feel like if I can be authentic to what it is that I'm trying to convey, then somebody might catch on. If I can catch one person, then maybe they can tell other people. It could be exponential in that sense. So I haven't been able to put a great deal into the market just yet because I'm an independent.
Yeah, that's more fantastic. About your writing style, do you think now you are a professional writer, or you still need to improve your writing skills?
I would say I'm professional, but there's always room for improvement. I think if we can continue to agree that there's room for improvement, you only get better in your craft. So I'm definitely willing. I'm open to criticism. I'll say that constructive criticism, and I'll listen to that feedback, and I'll definitely improve.
What is the role of technology in your job? How much technology do you use?
Technology is a necessity. I use it every day. Like I said, I have a blog on Goodreads, so straight to the phone. I don't even write that on paper. Just straight to it, and it's posted. My book is an ebook as well, so that's strictly technology. You can pick up a phone, a tablet, you can read it on a desktop, laptop. So all that encompasses technology. So it's a necessity for me. We got to have it now amid the pandemic.
Let's come to your inspiration. Where do you get inspiration from?
I would say I draw my biggest inspiration from the love of art, just loving what I do, playing with words, even seeing visuals, hearing music. All these different things can spark an idea. And the next thing that inspires me is to inspire others. I love the work that I put out, and if someone loves it as well, understands it, however they may internalize it, that makes their day or inspires them, that inspires me to continue to work and produce more art and challenge myself to be better.
Awesome. What is creativity for you?
Creativity, to me, is to be able to reach inside of your heart and pull out your character in a way that you display your art. It's all about the originality that you can bring to the ideas that you have, and can you put it out in such a way that you think it and the audience also resonates with the thoughts that you've thought. That's creativity to me, and not being limited to a genre or just saying I'm an author, but being able to create visuals or products that people may like as well. That's creativity.
What is soar for you?
Soar for me is to rise above and beyond circumstances that would hinder you from a goal. It's about the passion behind the work, the heart behind the work, to continue through rough patches. With SOAR, I had a visual to go along with that, and it was an astronaut floating out of space. When we think about soaring, we could think of birds, but I wanted to go higher than birds and still be relatable to us as humans and as astronauts out of space. So they would be the epitome of soaring. But with the astronaut, the journey to space is hard, and maybe that's an understatement to say the least. So to rise above our circumstances, we see celebrity entertainers, athletes, who's ever in those roles that could be admired, or you find glory in their success. They have a journey too that they went through to reach their glory or destiny. So did they have to break the atmosphere of their mind, or did they have to break the atmosphere of their environment to get there? And that's what SOAR is to me. Going outside of that environment of your mind, atmosphere, and things that could hold you back, and rising above it and doing it in excellence that others would admire you as well.
Fantastic. If there is something you want to add yourself that you don't have yet, and you want to do something in your personality or in your skills tomorrow, what would that be?
I think if it was something I could add to my skills, it's a good question. Maybe just being able to shoot a visual. I think I can shoot it, but I haven't actually did it just yet. So just being able to have a place to shoot it, and I guess all the resources that come along with it, that's not necessarily part of my skill set, but more of the resources that come along with it. Just having more resources.
If there is something from yourself you want to give to the other people, what would that be?
Something from myself that I would like to give to the other people.
Yeah.
I think just spreading happiness and positive energy, more love. If we can gift that to the next person, then it can become contagious. And hey, what would we lack? Because we're all sharing something that's beautiful and that's positive and full of life.
Is there something you want to change in the people? What would you like to change?
If it was something that I would want to change in the people, it would definitely be, I guess, the trait of patience and them actually listening instead of internalizing things and seeing it only in their way and in turn turn into anger, displaying that. Then yeah, it's giving the people patience and taking the evil in them out of them. That's what I would love to change.
What is the award that you are dreaming about winning?
Um, I don't know if I'm not really dreaming about an award yet, but if I would have to say, maybe New York Times bestseller, something to that magnitude. Like I said, I really won't limit myself to just saying I'm an author because I want to get outside of that and do more. But that would be one I would say I would love to see.
Do you think your romance death is your masterpiece, or your masterpiece is still to come?
It could be still to come. Like I said, Romance is Dead it's an introduction. I think it was beautifully written. Of course, I'm the author of it. I'm not saying it in a biased way, but it's definitely not my masterpiece. I know for sure that I have a lot more to come. So hey, maybe each time a project comes out, that's the masterpiece and it tops the one before.
Please, Rodney, could you read one page from the book?
Sure, not a problem.
Yeah.
Wait, Ro, awake. Seasons change, but not Ro, as she sleeps the time away. Goodness surrounds her like a mountain to a valley. In the likeness of joy, love, joy, peace, kindness, and beauty, there is something opposite on the other side of the wave. Ro sleeps in light, Ro sleeps in day. The lilies surround Ro, and the beach puts ground between Ro and the wave. For the tide is high, and night finds a pace. There is a sea serpent who surfs the wave, his body aligned perfect for the water to be land. He doesn't swim, he doesn't sink. He moves as if water is land. His scales align to dart off water into sand. Roll, sleep safe, the valley understands. The sea serpent's head is a hood that casts darkness. He stands upright and darts with sharpness. He goes to and fro throughout the land, a carnivorous being that devours in darkness and sinks you quicker than sand. Who told you, Cobra, to bring your darkness into light? Nature did sing, now quiet with fright. This is the fight between light and night. The cobra is swift, but the light shines bright. Row, awake, be of peace, stay still. The valley, the garden, will be your shield. Rose glory illuminates, and the cobra revered the light. Her identity as he darts closer and near. Ro gazes upon his scales. Cobra begins to twitch. He stares into Ro's direction as his scales itch. If Cobra ever felt life, it would feel this way. Cobra would immediately have an allergy. His scales would twitch away. That's it.
Yeah, it has been fantastic. Really fantastic.
Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, it has been great talking to Rodney. Rodney is a great and shining author and self-published. It has been great talking to you, Rodney. Thank you so much for this great opportunity.
Thank you for having me. It's been great as well. And I hope to see you again.
Certainly, and everybody, Rodney is here and his book is fantastic. As you can see, if you need more of his pages, more of his writing, you can surely get his book. Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you.